welcome to this week's DFU. Today we are continuing with the 10th class in our Final Fantasy semester. This is not an introductory level class. You need some prerequisites before you can attend this class. To get those, please go ahead and watch the first 9 videos up to this point. If you've watched those videos, then you're very well aware that my name is Kelsey. I am your host and your fellow student. And teaching us today is Tifa fan number 1, Chris. Chris, we are jumping into the story with a dramatic crash landing outside of Wutai.
Heading off to Wutai.
It's a really fun word to say.
Yes. So we ended with them stopping off in the lake. Yes, a nice little pit stop. Pit stop in the lake and in the ocean. In the ocean, not the lake, the ocean. Sorry, I had to ramble on to get my fucking Discord up so I can start showing you these pictures. Okay, so anyways, as you can see on our map here, we went from Rocket Town, and they kind of crash landed at the bottom of Wutai. Wutai is that whole, well, Wutai is the big tower, but that whole like continent over there is basically just Wutai. We kind of landed on the squiggly little part down there by Nibelheim, like underneath the Nibelheim.
Jeez, okay.
Yeah, we flew that far. Crash landed, bam, and then you can kind of use the thing from there.
Was the purpose the entire flight to get to Wutai? Because if so, our pilot is shit.
Not really, no.
Okay.
But, I mean, kinda. I mean, it's like, basically you can't get to Wutai until you have the Tiny Bronco.
Yeah,
and it does directly land you there.
A lot of Wutai to get from Rocket Town to Wutai.
Right. So when you look at this map, you can kind of see what I was talking about with the dark blue and the light blue, how the ship can only stay in the light blue, and you can see how it's kind of connected to the bottom. So that way you can go around and get all the way up to Wutai. And then those little white spots on the map on like the actual like ground, those are like sandbanks, and that's where you kind of park the Tiny Bronco and get out and walk and shit like that. Anyways.
Cute.
So, but before we go to Wutai, we need to take a couple steps back here a little bit because it's not where you meet Yuffie. We meet Yuffie on the regular continent, either side A or side B, your choice. But we'll go ahead and just continue on with the story we have going and say we met her outside of Rocket Town. So there are a couple forests outside of Rocket Town. There's a couple forests everywhere. But if you get in the forest before Rocket Town, it's like a 20 to 40% chance you might see Yuffie. I think it's actually lower than that. I think it's 15 to 20% chance you might see Yuffie. By the time you get to Rocket Town, if you go to the forest directly outside Rocket Town, it's like a 99.9% chance that you're going to fucking run into Yuffie. Yuffie is a random encounter. When you fight her, it says Mysterious Ninja. She's not hard to beat, so you should be able to beat her pretty quickly. But she is extremely hard to catch. And what I mean by that is she's like a fucking Pokemon. She is extremely hard to get on your team. I think you're going to like Yuffie a lot. I see Yuffie being pretty high up there on your list.
Okay.
Yuffie is not only a ninja, but she is the master of manipulation and thievery and all kinds of stuff like that. So here's the issue with Yuffie. When you run into Yuffie, after you beat her, you will then spawn in a grass area. And I'll actually look for a picture of this while I'm talking about it. But you'll spawn in a grass area where it will be you, Yuffie, and a question mark. Or, well, by a question mark, I mean a save point. The save point looks like a question mark on the map. Anyways. So the whole point of this is that Yuffie's laying down, your team is kind of split across from each other. So since your team is kind of split, the main thing you want to do, and this is for you players at home who are playing along here, do not, and I repeat, do not take your eyes off of Yuffie for any moment whatsoever. If you go to the save point to save, that's you taking your eyes off of Yuffie. You're going to come out of the save point, and she will have taken a shit ton of your gil, and she will be gone.
Ooh.
There is times whenever she asks you to name or ask you to ask what her name is. If you try to name her, once again, you are taking your eyes off of Yuffie, and when you come out of the screen, she will have taken your gil, and she will be gone. These are all trick questions to get you to get your gil stolen by Yuffie. And when you finally do get her on your party, she does not give it back. That is not a thing. So do not think that you will get your gil back just because she's back in your party. That gil is lost. It is gone.
Yeah.
There is no if, no ands, and no buts about that. That gil is gone. So once again, like I said, whatever you do, I can't even fucking post a picture of this. Every picture I found literally looks like ass. So I'm just gonna, it's a grass place. It's got a fuck question mark. Like, it's very easy. It's literally as soon as you get through fighting Yuffie. You don't go anywhere else. It's as soon as you get through fighting Yuffie. Anyways, so if I find a better one, I'll put it up there in the video. But for now, that's where it's at. Anyway, she looks like she's knocked out. You always want to make sure you're talking to Yuffie. Now, for those of you at home who don't have this amazing, awesome, old school strategy guide that I have, that tells you different things, I'm going to list here the dialogue choices because they're actually pretty funny. So, first, don't use the save point. Doing so means you take your eyes off Yuffie. We already talked about that. And then whenever you turn to the main screen, she will be gone along with some of your gil. Second, don't insult Yuffie's ninja abilities. If you attack her ego, she will not join your party because she is a ninja and very proud of her ninja skills. Third, do anything that might result, or don't do anything that might result in you losing sight of Yuffie. So after you fight her, she's kind of lay down. You want to go up and examine her. She's going to say, "Yo, you spiky-headed jerk. One more time. Let's go. One more time." And she does this fucking weird thing, and I'll show you after the fucking the video, where like she does this thing. She like smacks her arm like really fast, like she's doing like uppercut punches. She's like ta 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 ta. Like it's fucking weird. She's so cocky. It's great. You want to answer, "Not interested." Then she is now feeling cocky, so she taunts you again. "You're pretty scared of me, huh?" You want to say, "Petrified." Yes, you want to play into her ego. Then she'll start to leave, but turns back to yell, "I'm really gonna leave. I'm really gonna do it." And then you say, "Wait a second." She seems to be getting the picture. "So you want me to go with you?" You say, "That's right." She says, "All right, I'll go with you." And then you say, "Let's hurry on," and walk away. And that's how you get Yuffie to join your team.
Seems very easily screw upable.
Right? It is very, because there are at least 4 different options to say different words every single time that she goes to talk to you. Because once again, you get to choose what you want to say. So now that we officially have the Youthster on our team, I'll go ahead and start throwing some pictures in here. So this is what Yuffie's actual character design looks like from the game. This is her artwork character. Is
that a shield on her arm?
That basically, yes.
Okay.
It's like a long sleeve, but yes, it's kind of like a shield basically. So it's to cover up that arm and keep her protected. Oh, you'll see that actually with a lot of characters. So it's like they always have one hand for the weapon and the other one, their armor, is like part of their clothes, which I think is really fucking cool. Really interesting design.
Seems really logical.
It's really interesting design, for sure.
Yuffie seems adorable.
She is. You will learn to love Yuffie. Yuffie is actually really, really cool. I like Yuffie a lot. She's definitely a fun part of the team. Anyways, as I was doing, so some more cool pictures that I found of Yuffie. So we can get some Yuffie artwork out there. She's pretty cool. So the one thing about Yuffie is that she is a huge materia lover. She's known as the materia hunter. She absolutely loves and is fascinated with the fact that materia is this extra power. That's actually her artwork from the game book too, by the way, that very last one. So, but yeah, she is a huge fan of materia. So now we can head to Wutai.
Woo!
So this is what Wutai looks like. We're not quite there yet, but I'll go ahead and let you see. This is what Wutai looks like. As you can kind of see all the way in the back there to the left is that gigantic tower. That's called their Tower of Power or something along those lines. And we'll get to that in a second.
Is there also carving on the rock back there?
Yes, actually, since you noticed that is the Dao Chao, which is this. It's pretty cool.
Ooh, that is really cool.
Yes. So that is the art, or that is the rocks in the background. Yes. Anyways. So before getting to Wutai, all of a sudden you hear some Shinra guards say, "Hey, freeze." Once again, Shinra somehow knows where the fuck we are. Yuffie takes this moment to run for the hills back to Wutai to get away from Shinra because she hates Shinra. And what you didn't notice is she is now stolen and has taken every single piece of materia on your team.
Excuse you.
Every single piece of materia. Which, if you're like me and you try to get everything on the way to the game, by the time you get here, you have a lot of fucking materia. A lot. Usually all 3 of your characters are stacked and your entire inventory is pretty fucking stacked. Yes. So you better hope.
Give that back.
You better hope between this point and getting to Wutai that you really don't have too many fucking battles because you don't have any healing besides potions. So I hoped you hope you saved up on some potions there. Yeah. Which once again, as I said, we started from the bottom of the map of Wutai to get all the way up to where Wutai, or well, from the continent to get all the way up to the top where Wutai is. Anyways,
give you a chance to get stuff back.
Well, no. That's them being dicks and saying you're gonna probably hit a shit ton of random encounters on the way to go get your shit back from Yuffie.
Ah, that's great.
So, anyways, now that we have lost our materia, we head towards Wutai. We finally get there. Now we are officially playing a game of hide and seek with Yuffie to get our materia. She hides in a couple different places. You have to go find her. You do a lot of this running around bullshit, but the main place you end up going is back there towards the Tower of Power. And going into there's a little right house back there. I couldn't find like a really good like picture of that spot, so I didn't fucking grab one. But anyways, that's where Lord Godo lives, who you then find is basically the Lord and Master of Wutai and Yuffie's father. So when looking for her, you don't find her in her room, but you end up running into her dad, which at that point she shows up out of nowhere with her ninja-like skills, because she does this shit a lot. And she gets into a fight with her father, and you kind of get to hear a little bit of why Yuffie acts the way that she does. She's upset because after the Wutai War, when Wutai lost against Shinra, Wutai basically got turned into a tourist spot. So it used to be this lovely nation where, you know, everything meant something to the people that were there, and they didn't just let random fucking people come walking in and stuff like that, to where now it is the biggest tourist attraction basically on this side of Gaia. And her father does nothing about it, which she's upset about because he used to be one of the greatest, strongest warriors out there. But Wutai did not have what Shinra had at the moment, which was blink blink materia, which is how they were able to win with all these soldiers. And I do mean actual soldiers, like soldier first class soldiers, like Sephiroth, who became a hero during this war. So obviously he was a big part and shit like that. Cloud was also part of this war, but he wasn't in soldier yet. He was just a Shinra infantry. Anyways, so they lost the war. Now that this big tourist spot, she's upset about it. Where then Godo tries to argue with her, but then she just runs off. You don't catch her. You do a little more searching. But in our picture of Wutai, at the very far left, you'll see a little clay pot outside of that store with the big turtle on the front. She's hiding in there. You'll see it shaking and moving. When you go to get her out of the pot, one person will stand on each bridge out of your party, and Cloud will go up and punch the pot until she comes flying out. Then she has nowhere to go. So then she gives up. She's like, fine, I'll take you to the materia. So you go back towards the tower, and to the right is that house where her and her dad live. To the left is like this little bell tower. Well, there's a switch. She presses this switch, and it opens up her secret hideout. So you're going into Yuffie's secret hideout. You go down there. She directs you to the room in the back where all the materia is hidden. Two of your people walk in there, and she goes, all you have to do is just flip that switch over there. There's two switches, one on the right and one on the left. She's like, you just have to flip that switch over there, and it will give you your materia. Folks, don't hurt your brain too much on this one. It doesn't matter which flip you switch, you're getting a trap. Gigantic
Push.
metal steel cage falls down on 2 of your characters, leaving Cloud free and the other 2 inside of this cage. Yuffie then laughs, says, "Haha, sucker, you'll never get your materia," and then takes off once again. Lovely Yuffie. Anyways, so you then go flip the switch to stop her, or you flip the switch, get them back out. That's all you gotta do is just flip the switch again, and you'll get them back out. You run upstairs, and before you know it, guess who is here? Kelsey's favorite character in the entire game.
Oh, great.
Don Carino. Remember that guy? Yeah.
Oh,
it's
God,
been a while.
no,
Yes.
no.
Your favorite guy of all time. Yes.
I really dislike him.
Yes. He has his men not only kidnap Yuffie, but also, guess who else is there? Elena from the Turks. So now she's kidnapped as well. The Turks are in Wutai. They're in Wutai, which strengthens the fact that someone might be giving some information on where the team is going at all times. So you end up going to the shop that's got the little turtle on it, and you end up finding, well, this is actually a little bit before that, but if you go in there at any time when you're searching for Yuffie before you go to her hideout, you'll see that all the Turks are in there gathered around, and basically they're just telling you that they're not trying to fight, they're not here to start anything, they're on vacation, that's why they're in Wutai, and they don't want to have anything to do with you. So you're free to pass, I guess. Vacation means that, you know, you could just do what you want, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, so as you go to leave from the tower or Yuffie's secret hideout, you run into Reno, who tells you basically at this point, he's not going to fight you. Cloud asks for a truce, and basically you do a truce until you both get your people back, because you want Yuffie and they want Elena. So you go searching all over the place, but the main place you think that they're going to be is on the mountain. Once you go through, start searching all the different mountain crevices. Before we move a little bit more forward, there is one cave on the mountain, and it's got fire, like this insane fire that you can't get past. You'll see a piece of materia and a couple treasure chests. Don't worry, you can get them later. At some point, you will be stealing a submarine from Shinra. When you go to do that, there's a treasure chest outside that has the Leviathan scales. Once you get those, you can come back, and the power of the Leviathan puts out the flames, and then you can get those items. Anyways, moving forward. It's a little bit later on in the game, but we'll get there. It's actually a lot later on in the game, but we'll get there. Anyways, I'll remember when we get there. Maybe. Who knows? We'll see. So,
I believe in you.
So, wanted to say that right quick. Anyway, so we get all the way up, and then sure enough, on the middle statue's face, we have Yuffie, Elena, and Kelsey's favorite Final Fantasy VII character, Don Carino, standing there. Yes.
That doesn't look good.
No, it does not. So, Cloud and them show up. So does Reno. You get ready to fight. He releases his little pet on you, which is like this fucking dragon pterodactyl looking thing. You kill that. You move forward. Reno goes a step forward, and then you notice that Don Carino has this switch, and it ends up turning both Elena and Yuffie upside down. And it says he pressed the other button, it's going to let them go, and they will fall splat all the way down. But what Don Carino doesn't know is that as much as we hate them and look at them as enemies, the Turks are usually one step ahead. And so Rude already has something that basically disables Don Carino's switch, and therefore he cannot hurt the girls anymore. And Reno walks up to Don Carino and basically pushes him off of the mountain, killing Don Carino. Yes, he goes splat.
Unexpected.
It's actually more he falls and he grabs on to the tip of the finger, and he's holding on, and Reno's holding on, or like stepping on his fingers. And Don Carino tries to do that thing with you guys, or with us in the beginning, where he's all like, "Do you know why I'll always win?" or some shit like that. Or do you know why I'm happy about this right now? And then Reno's like, "I honestly really don't care," and then just steps on his fucking hand and makes him let go, and then falls down, splat.
Holy cow.
Turks don't give a shit. The Turks don't fuck around.
Who are the Turks loyal to?
Shinra. President Rufus. They are basically, if you look at the president, like the actual president of the United States, and you see all those black suits following him around, that's basically the Turks. Their job is to keep the president safe and do whatever he asks. That is basically the Turks' job. And their leader is Sung, who we've already met. He is the leader of the Turks. He makes all the calls, and you'll kind of notice that as we go forward a little bit more and start having to deal with the Turks a lot more. You'll see a lot more of the Turks in the movie than you did in this. And then whenever you also come over to watch the movie, we're also going to watch The Last Order, which, by the way, for those of you Final Fantasy fans that are out there, Final Fantasy VII fans that are out there, this is actually something a lot of people don't know even exists. It's called The Last Order, and it is a one-shot anime episode of Final Fantasy VII. Done very well, insanely good graphics. And it is about the Nibelheim incident and what took place between the Nibelheim incident and how Cloud got into Midgar.
So basically, the reason, kind of the story behind where Cloud and Tifa were freaking out like 3 episodes ago.
Well, yeah, what actually happened that night? Because we remember that Cloud went to go fight Sephiroth, but then that's all we remember from that. Cloud says there's no way he could have beat Sephiroth because of how strong Sephiroth was. But all he knows is that he woke up and he was still alive and he was somehow in Midgar. So there's a whole, and we've seen the difference in the map from where fucking Nibelheim to Midgar is. There is a whole lot of ground that got covered.
Yeah.
And that is an entire 5 years of Cloud's memory that is just gone. 5 years. Dun, dun, dun. Anyways, so for those of you that don't know about The Last Order, it is, like I said, I think it's a 22-minute, it might be 20, it might be 30, but 20 or 30-minute, one episode. There's not multiple episodes. Don't go looking for more. One episode, just about that. It's extremely well done. Very, very great. Definitely watch it after you get through with the story, because there is some spoilers in there, which is why I'm being very cryptic about the information that I'm talking to in front of Kelsey. So
that's the reason I'm not asking any questions.
You're learning. There we go. Awesome. So anyways, Cornelio dies. He's done. Gone. We're finally done with him. Woot woot. Until the remake, obviously. But woot woot. Can't wait to see that guy in full HD graphics. Yeah.
Oh God, no. Oh, he's gonna...
Yeah. Yes. Anyways, so we save the girls. Turks choose not to fight us, and they just leave, which is nice of them. It's awesome. So now Yuffie is going to help us by giving us our materia back. She then gives you all the materia back, doesn't miss a single piece. But here's the one and last final reason why you will hate Yuffie. She puts it all back in a complete and total random order. So if you
have to go fix it.
Exactly. And if you don't remember who had what materia, this can get very, very upsetting. Very upsetting. Because
how many times has this made you angry?
Oh, plenty. Because I'm a neat freak. I've already talked about on this fucking DFU about how that one person sat there watching me redo my entire materia inventory. So that way it's all nice and neat and alphabetized and done by colors. Yeah. I keep that organized. Whenever you get it back and you look at your inventory, like whenever you look at my inventory, it's like all reds, all greens, all blues, all yellows, all purples. She gives them back to you. It's like red, green, blue, yellow, purple, all over the place. And all my shit's alphabetized. I might actually have to do just like a quick scroll of my materia as a video and just put it in this fucking DFU so people can see what I'm talking about, because I'm not joking. Like my shit is as fucking neat as it could possibly be. At this point, you've got some pretty decent weapons and armor in the game, so you're probably carrying like 6 pieces of materia per equipment right now. So that's probably 12 total pieces of materia on Cloud, 12 on Tifa, and 12 on Red 13. That's a lot of materia to get mixed up, and that also does not include what's in your inventory. And it's not like because it was on a character, she puts it back on a character. Some of the shit that you were wearing is just in your inventory, and some shit you weren't wearing is just on your character. So it is all your shit is completely fucked at this point.
So you have to go in, get everything all sorted before you can move on.
And then walk outside of Wutai and fucking save with your materia correct. Do not move forward, because the next thing you're about to do, which is completely optional, let me say, is optional, is extremely hard. And this was the first boss in this game that took me a very long time to beat. Whenever I was in my youth playing this for the very first time, this is the boss that almost made me stop playing this game due to the fact that I could not beat him so many times when I tried. And that's because I was trying to fight him way too early. Way too early. At this point, you probably still even shouldn't be trying to fight this guy. If I can give some advice to the players who are new to the game, you will get a piece of armor later on in the game once you hit the Temple of Ancients called Ribbon. It sounds dumb, but it is literally a ribbon tied around your arm, and that is a piece of armor. This is easily the strongest piece of armor in the game. It causes one character of your choice, the one who wears it, to not get affected by any status effects. Any status effects. Poison, sleep, knockout, confused, small, frog. Yes, that is a status. Frog is a status where it turns you into a frog and you only do 1 damage. Or small, which turns you into a mini version of yourself and you only do 1 damage. Guess what? The boss you're about to fight, he can do every status effect in the game to you. Once again, make sure you get Ribbon first. It is going to help you out a lot. So, we turn our vision to the Tower of Power. Yes. You can completely move on and continue through the story. You do not have to do the Tower of Power right now. But if you do, it is a one-on-one fight. It has to be Yuffie. And it has to be every member of the Tower of Power. So she has to beat 1 level and then move up to the next and up to the next and up to the next until she reaches the top floor, which is her father. Yes, Yuffie has to fight her father.
Lord Godo.
Lord?
I don't know. I wrote it as
Godo. Well, I was waiting for the picture. It took me a little bit longer to find it. Anyways, that is Lord Godo. That is Yuffie's daddy.
That man's got personality in his eyebrows.
Yes,
I like
he
it.
does. Lord Godo. He looks like something. I don't know why, but he looks like something out of Pokemon to me. I could see him being a Pokemon. Anyways, that is Lord Godo, Yuffie's daddy. And when you go to fight him, or when we go to fight every single one of these, they all have transformations. This is Yuffie's father's transformation. And he does not fuck around.
Holy shit.
He has
very Chinese.
3 heads, and each head does its own thing. The red head has damage. The yellow head that you see on the right side does status effects that I was talking about. And the white head heals him for a lot. A lot. Once again, I can't stress this enough. Get Ribbon, max out some of your materia. Materia that would be great here. Time, yes. Slow him. And do cast haste on yourself. So you get 2 turns to his 3 turns to his 1. That would be good. Healing, regen, preferably wall would be really good here as well. That's another really good one that you get the ultimate level off of Barrier. Braver. That's Cloud's limit breaker. Not what we're talking about here. Because you can only use Yuffie. Your team does not fight this, so you have to put all your good materia just on Yuffie. Yes, I know that sounds weird since she just got through stealing it, but you have to put all your good materia on Yuffie.
Trust her, she won't take it this time.
No. She is done with the hijinks at this point. Which is actually pretty funny because you saw in my AMV Cloud and them fighting Bahamut Sin. When Yuffie shows up to the battlefield to help fight Bahamut, that's the first thing she says as soon as she drops on the ground from the ship. She goes, who's been messing with my materia? Tifa's all like, the bad guys, as usual. And she's like, and she goes running off to go fight Bahamut. So fucking awesome. I love Yuffie. Yuffie's the greatest. She is awesome. Whenever you have to pick the spot where you do the teams, and even with the Eris thing being, whatever, if she was there for that, I would say this. It would not change. So let's go ahead and say I had to split the 3 teams because there's one part in the game where you have to split the teams into 3 and one team has 2. My first team will always be Cloud, Tifa, Red 13. My second team is Kate Sith, Yuffie, Vincent. And just so you know, because you hate Vincent so much, there is a lot of fans who are hardcore on the Yuffie Vincent train. Hardcore on the Yuffie Vincent train.
Any canon behind that?
Not really 100%, but in his solo game, she, for some reason, is traveling with Vincent. And she is with Vincent. So, there might be something. They might actually be playing something. But in the movie, it doesn't look like there's anything going on. In the game, there's no hints of that going on because Vincent still has his whole Lucrezia shit going on. So, dealing with that. I hate how much you hate Vincent. He's so fucking cool. I love him, but it's true. He fits the stereotype too good. And that's because they did that on purpose. So
I'm gonna go brutal.
You can't blame Vincent. Blame Square Enix. It's their fault.
I can blame Vincent. He's a character. If
he
Tifa
can't,
gets to decide,
he didn't choose the way he was, Kelsey.
If Tifa gets to decide what she wears, he gets to decide whether or not he's going to brood and sleep in a fucking coffin. He could be like, you know what? I'm going to try to move on and make some new decisions and forgive myself and forgive the circumstances that got me here. No, he chose to sleep in a damn coffin.
I mean, the writers chose for him to sleep in a damn coffin, but you're right.
I mean, at some point, the writers are like, well, these are characters of their own characters, so I'm blaming Vincent.
Yeah, but that's never really true. But one thing I will say, now that you brought up the whole Tifa wearing clothes, which brought me to the fact of her, chest. Anyways, there were some dots.
Subject, it'd be hilarious.
There were some dots connected. They don't seem like they made sense to you now, but they will. Anyways, so I know that I said early on in DFU that there are a couple parts in the game, not a lot, but maybe like 2 or 3, where Cloud is not part of your party and someone else has to lead the charge. At one point, Tifa is one of those people. If you wait to get Yuffie when Tifa is the leader of the party, that is the one and only time, and I want everybody who's listening at home to really listen to me say this, that is the one and only time Tifa is ever sexualized as anything in the entire game. Not one time does the guys do anything that's creepy or weird to Tifa. None of that. And Square Enix has said this multiple times and has stood behind it, and I stand behind them on this one. And it is by Yuffie. When she gets up, she calls Cloud spiky. She calls Tifa boobs. She's like, listen here, boobs. Yeah, that was the only time her chest tickles were ever mentioned in the entire game. The only time.
Did Yuffie survive being this?
Yes.
Okay. Did by any chance Tifa think it was funny?
I don't really think they wanted to play too much into it due to the fact of how it could be taken.
So they just kind of
like let it happen. Yeah.
Let it happen and moved on. All
yeah,
right.
pretty much.
Jeez.
Which is pretty good though. It's pretty funny. She's literally just because she's like, "Hey, look here, boobs." So where she's like, "Hey, look here, Spiky." It's great. It's great. Anyways, so moving on. Oh man, it's so great. So we go through, we do the fight. You get all the way up to Goto. If you beat him, which hopefully you will, if you listen to my advice, you will. When you beat him, they both fall down on the floor. They're both completely tired, and then they both start laughing. And he's excited to see that his little girl actually has trained enough and has grown up and become a powerful warrior, which is really, really awesome. He then decides to tell Yuffie that she does need to leave with the group and go with them on their quest to save the world and to make Wutai proud and bring some pride back to Wutai. Yuffie. Wutai. So, wants to bring some pride back to Wutai, which is great. So, now, the funny part is once everybody walks out of the room, as she's getting ready to leave, the dad looks at her and goes, "Hey." She's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Don't forget, when this is all said and done, make sure you steal their materia and bring it back." And she just starts laughing. She's like, "Don't worry, I got this." And then walks out.
Oh my god.
It's so great. You gotta love Yuffie. You gotta love her. She's great. She's fantastic. And that is the Yuffie Meister. That is how we get Yuffie. At this point, she is 100% part of your team for the rest of the time. That being said, I want to take a quick brief look here because I think after that we have the cat and the keystone, which if so, that's literally just like a 10-second little rundown here.
Meaning we can do it now.
Yeah, I think it would be worth it. So yes, the cat and the keystone is the next chapter, and at that point, basically, you hear that there is that Sephiroth is heading towards the Temple of the Ancients to get something called the Black Materia. We've talked about this before, but the Black Materia. With the Black Materia, he will be able to summon. This is the first time we're really diving into this. He will be able to summon Meteor, which is basically what his mother came on years and years and years ago to crash into the Earth, to destroy the Earth. Because if he can make Meteor hit the Earth, all the life stream will come out to protect it, like it did forever ago, to protect itself. The planet did forever ago, and heal itself. And he can then take that life stream and take it as power and absorb it, and then kill the Earth, and then use the Earth as his own meteor to sell the cosmos to find the Promised Land. That is Sephiroth's main plot and plan. And with the Black Materia, he can do so, because there are two ultimate materias in the game. The Black Materia and the White Materia. All we've ever heard about is the Black Materia so far. We have no idea anything about the White Materia. So,
where was he? I'm sorry, my notes skipped briefly. Where was he headed?
He was heading to the Temple of the Ancients.
Temple of the Ancients.
Which is where the Black Materia. Yes. So you need to get there, and you need a key in order to do so, which is cat and a keystone. Haha. You go to get what you need, which is actually, is it the harp? No, you don't get that till the City of Ancients. I forgot what the actual fucking key was. What the fuck was it?
Now, if he kills Gaia to turn it into his own meteor, will he be able to live on it?
Yes.
He will.
He can, yes. His mother did the same thing years and years and years ago. She killed a planet and then used it as a meteor to sell the cosmos, and then she ended up crashing into Earth because she thought that was supposed to be the Promised Land. When she got there, she was stopped. So, somewhat stopped.
He's just part human, so I wasn't sure if that would kind of screw with him a little bit.
Nope, won't fuck with him. He is beyond that at this point. Anyways,
does Jenova at this stage know what he's doing? Like, is she on board?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, son, help me out here. Like, I'll drink a mint julep while you kill the Earth for me.
So basically, all these scenes that we've gotten where we're actually seeing Sephiroth, that's not actually Sephiroth. So what we remember as far as, I guess we can kind of talk about it because it's not too much of a spoiler alert. Yeah, it's not really too much of a spoiler alert. So at this point, once again, we don't know what happened to Sephiroth. All we know is that Shinra classified him as dead. So Sephiroth's not necessarily showing himself, but that's why every time we fought Sephiroth, it turns into a form of Jenova, and we have to end up fighting a form of Jenova. So basically, it's a fake Sephiroth with a form of Jenova. One thing I will say, which isn't a spoiler alert, but if I go further than that, it would be, is that the reason why we saw Jenova in Shinra without her head is because he cut off her head and took it with him.
Yes,
I think I mentioned that. Okay, yes. So he does have Jenova with him.
To be totally honest, that fact has bubbled up randomly, like, while I'm doing the dishes. I'm just like, oh yeah, Sephiroth cut off his mother's head to carry it with him. And I'm just like...
Just took it. Yep. That's
I need a new thought. And so I have to go find YouTube and, like, turn on our channel and watch something else.
That is what he has done. Yes, it is something. Anyways, so we end up finding this little itty bitty shop way, way, way out in the boonies that has the key to get into the Temple of Ancients. But someone has already bought it and is taking it. Who is it? It's our main man, Dio! Yes, Dio. Gold Saucer, manager and owner. Dio. Dio.
Okay.
So we go back to the Gold Saucer. We get to the Gold Saucer and we go to do the entire fight. And while we're doing this fight, do the entire fight. You get there, you talk to Dio, and he says in order for him to give you the cat and the keystone, you just got to participate in his battle arena. That's what I meant by the entire fight. Folks, the battle arena, I cannot stress this enough, is very much worth your time. Once again, come back, Do the battle arena. Like, do this first one, because it doesn't matter if you lose on the first round. He's still going to give it to you. It doesn't matter. After this, you're going to go to the Temple of the Agents. Once you go to the Temple of the Agents, come back, and do the battle arena after you get ribbon, because it's going to make your time in the battle arena so much easier. This is the only way to get Omni Slash for Cloud, which is his final limit breaker. It's the only way to get it is by getting 36,000 points in the battle arena and buying it out of the battle arena. It's the only way to get it. So yes, make sure you do that. And then we're going to end that there, because the next thing, and I want to have the video prepped and ready for it, is the famous date scene. We're finally here. The gold saucer date.
I thought that was at the end of everything. We're not even halfway through the game, right?
We haven't even hit the end of disc 1 yet.
Man.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So right now, our people are in the golden saucer.
Right now, our people in the golden saucer. We just did the battle arena. We got the key. After that, I'll set it up to the date. We'll do that.
Okay.
You go to leave the golden saucer. The gigantic thing that flies you all the way through the air on those cables that I'm extremely fucking terrified of. It's out of commission, and you can't leave the golden saucer because the only way in or out of the gold saucer is that. So you can't leave until they fix it. But don't worry, Kate Sith has been working at the gold saucer for a while, so he'll hook you up with a room at the hotel. So you stay at the hotel. They kind of ask you to give the whole story because a lot of people weren't there for the beginning of the party and stuff like that. So basically it does like a quick rollover of like, hey, this is where we started, this is where we're at now. So that way people like Sid and Vincent and Kate Sith are all caught up to, what the fuck is going on, Yuffie as well. And then you go to your hotel room, and then it ends up showing Cloud waking up and kind of just walking back and forth and pacing. You hear a knock at the door, and depending on your overall conquest of who you want to be Cloud's partner, which can literally be anybody in the team, this is that person that walks in. But for our next episode...
You could romance Mog.
Well, you can't romance Mog. I think actually, yeah, you can romance Kate Sith. I mean, Mog's there, I guess. But you really don't have him for that long. It's a lot harder to get like Kate Sith or Vincent or anybody else on the thing than it is for Barrett, Tifa, and Aerith. And Barrett's still the hardest. So, but judging on who you have walk through the door, that is who it will be. But for our story, it will be Tifa. And that I will have play for us to watch. And yes, so that way Kelsey can see the amazing date scene, because it is actually pretty fucking cool, because they do this whole carousel ride through the entire gold saucer, which is on a track that's like outside of the gold saucer, so it goes around it. So you're like suspended high up in the air. There's fireworks going off. Chocobos are running past you and shit like that. It's really, really cool looking, honestly. So
that sounds like your ideal date.
It's pretty insane. So yes. So now that we've gotten there, we've pretty much said everything there really is to know about Yuffie. So as far as you picking your character, that's pretty much all there really is to know about Yuffie. Like I said, we don't know anything about her mom. The Wutai War really put a strain between her and her dad's relationship. She was a real young kid at that time. She loves materia, and she wants to be a ninja, or is a ninja, I guess I should say. Don't want to knock her ninja skills. She'll steal my gil. Yeah. And that's pretty much all there is about Yuffie. I don't know how to pronounce her last name.
Can you spell it?
Yes. Is it Kisaragi? 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 I don't know.
Hard to say. I'm sure somebody can tell us in the comments how to do that.
Sure. You guys jump right on that. Anyways. So, that being said, we're finally here. Kelsey, you get to change it at any point in the story. Who is your party leader at this point? Who is your favorite character of Final Fantasy VII Heroes? Good guys at this point. You'll be able to pick an overall favorite at the end if Sephiroth somehow becomes your favorite, or one of the other bad guys. I doubt it. But
I'm pretty sure we'll stop being friends if I chose Sephiroth.
Not really. Actually, a lot of people like Sephiroth. Sephiroth is very fucking popular. And that's, like I said, he really wasn't a bad guy until someone literally split his world in two. So it's pretty easy to lose your fucking mind at that point.
I was going to say, at this point, I know... at this point, I'm going to have to say Tifa.
Yes. I'm so happy about that.
But I mean, Red 13 sounds like he's amazing.
The fact that you like my exact team is I'm so happy about that right now.
I feel like I should like Aerith a lot more than I do, but I think part of the reason I don't like her more is because you don't like her more.
Yeah, it's because the bias that I pushed the Cloud and Tifa, which I actually thought we would probably get a lot of complaints about, because there is a huge, like, that's the biggest fight in the Final Fantasy VII fandom is Tifa or Aerith. And it is like split 50-50. There are so many people on the Aerith team. There are so many people on the Tifa team. I'm definitely on the Tifa team. Aerith is a great person. I'll give you that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She's really nice and stuff like that. But to me, a big reason why I got separated from the Aerith thing pretty early on is because I liked Cloud so much as a kid, and obviously now, that every time she would talk about Zack, I was like, I feel like there's a Zack guy somewhere, and that's maybe who you should be with, instead of trying to like fill this void with my boy Cloud and just let Tifa and Cloud be together, because they clearly fucking love each other. So Cloud's had a crush on her ever since he was a kid. She had a crush on him. They just never really talked about it. So fuck off. But yeah.
Well, it's definitely better than Vincent.
So it's easy to say at this point right now, if you were playing the game, your team would be Cloud, Tifa, and Red 13.
Unless there was some kind of tactical advantage to a different way, because I honestly choose my teams in types of games based off of either conversations that can happen if there is no combat, or if there's combat or political crap going on and my team can help.
Fair enough.
I don't care if they're my least favorite character or they're underdeveloped or they're shitty. Like, if they will help in this situation and they're the best tool to use, I'm gonna use them in that situation.
Right. So this is something that people at home, and Kelsey, whenever you finally go to play Final Fantasy VII, whether it's this one or the remake, you will know at certain places there's certain people that should be in your party when you get certain places. Nibelheim, you should always have Tifa. Gunganga, which was Zack's hometown, you should have Aerith. You know, stuff like that. The Golden Saucer, you should probably have Kate Sith. So, that being said, that is right. But with the remake, there will be tactical advantages to having people on your team. People like Barrett and Vincent, who can do long range attacks, will be better to have whenever there's actually flying enemies for you to fight. Yes. To where in the first game, it's not like that.
What are you going to do if there's actual tactical advantages to having somebody other than
I am going to find a way to run upside the buildings and jump off and attack the fucking things in the air, or I'm just going to burn through a lot of mana just shooting fireballs at them. So
you are keeping...
I am keeping the Cloud, Tifa, and fucking Nanaki train alive. Yes. That
okay.
100% fucking facts.
Sheer stubbornness will keep this team together.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Exactly.
That's very on par for you. That's what I expect.
I will say this. I will play with the other characters briefly just to kind of see the feel of each character, but it's not going to change my team. It's not going to happen. It's just not. I'm sorry. It won't. I will definitely play with Kate Sith a little bit and Vincent a little bit more than the other ones, just because of how much I like those two characters, because I actually just started playing this game and I'm very addicted to it, and usually I don't get addicted to phone games, but it's called Final Fantasy Record Keeper, and the entire world is basically getting destroyed because all the main moments in Final Fantasy are being erased, so you now have to go back and relive all the biggest moments of Final Fantasy on all of them, and there's 15 different games, not including the side games like Tactics and Zero and shit like that. Yeah. So, that being said, you actually, they picked the perfect way to get someone like me hooked. The first two missions you do are in Final Fantasy VII, and if you do the second one and you get a perfect on it, you get Cloud and Tifa to join your party. So... you're supposed to have your own little made-up character on your party. Yeah, I don't have that. My party is Cloud, Tifa, Red 13, Kate Sith, and Vincent, because you can only have 5 people. That is my team. So, those are my favorites, for sure. Yuffie would be next if I could have a 6th, but I can't. So, sorry, Yuffie. Sorry. You're on the back burner with Barrett and Sid
Vincent
and Aerith.
Beat her.
Vincent is so good, Kelsey. You need to stop. Oh, I love him. You'll love him. When we get to Dirge Cerberus, you'll love Vincent. I think you'll like him in the movie a little bit too, but he definitely has that like dramatic emo shit going on too. So there's already one part that happens in the movie that I know you are going to roll your eyes so fucking hard at, and I'm not looking forward to that at all.
Are you going to get up and take a bathroom break?
I am not looking forward to that at all. Oh my gosh. I know you're going to do it too. Because it's not even something that he says. He just does this whole like dramatic fucking movement. I'm not going to say what the movement is. I'll let you see it. And you're just going to be like, oh my God. And I know it's coming and I'm not happy about it at all. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
My favorite part is that I'm actually torturing you in
You
this
are.
months in advance.
Yes, you are. And I'm not happy about it. Poor Vincent. He's the dude. He's my dude. Anyways, so you heard it here first, folks. Kelsey's favorite is Tifa, which means next episode, until she changes, Tifa will be behind her. And her team so far is my exact team, which is great. I'm happy about that. Hey, they're the greatest characters in the game. I
You just feel like you're winning right now.
I am
can feel how much
totally
you
winning
feel like
right
you're
now.
winning.
I am totally winning right now. I'm winning in the game of DFU. Not only do
Oh,
you
man.
love Final Fantasy VII, but you also love my main team. This is great. This is fantastic. Yes.
You are so biased.
I am. I am really biased. Just me
Well,
as a
all
person.
right, friends. That will wrap up our 10th class in our Final
Yes.
Fantasy VII semester. As you can tell, we've got a lot more to go, so please keep coming back. If you have questions or you want to follow up and chat with us, please jump in the comments and let us know whatever you're thinking. Or we've got our Twitter links and our Twitch links down there as well. You're more than welcome to join us in those forums as well.
Mhm.
Most importantly, if you enjoyed this content, please like this video. Please subscribe to our channel and turn on those notifications so particular you know when to come to class. Either way, we will see you in the next class and we hope you have a great day. Bye, friends.